Welcome everybody back to the Budge channel. Andrew here. I'm back here with my Monday video. Usually this is a football video, but now since the season is over, I'm gonna start kind of transitioning this into like maybe a weekly basketball recap. Baseball as the season comes back. I'm still gonna talk about a little bit of football here at the end of the video, more than likely. But to start it off here, I just want to say our uploads have been kind of sporadic lately. I personally have just been dealing with a lot of homework and stuff, so I've been trying to get that done. That's why we haven't posted since last Wednesday our power forwards video. But we're gonna try to start getting back on track here. I think me and Mort have an A&M coming up Wednesday. We're gonna try to get our centers videos this week, and I think soon, if not, I don't know when, but I think me and Gavin might try to do a mock draft. We might try to wait a little bit more towards the season comes around, just like free agency and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna try that. But starting it off, I mean, the Pistons, man, probably one of the best tank jobs in NBA history. One of the most exciting tank jobs in NBA history. We're beating good teams. We are exciting to watch. Our rookies are developing. The rookies that are healthy, at least, are developing. The veteran presence is high, but they're still allowing the rookies to do good. And I think it's honestly amazing. Drink over here. It's honestly amazing. I think that the development of Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart have been great. Mason Plumlee, I think he's an interesting mentor to Isaiah Stewart, considering they kind of have two different types of play styles. Plumlee isn't really a grit and grind type guy, but he's starting to kind of develop that like kind of game to his. And I think Isaiah Stewart is helping Plumlee as much as Plumlee is helping Isaiah Stewart, and I think it's going to develop both their games. Plumlee just had his first career triple-double against the Pelicans in that game that we extended our winning streak to 2 for the first time this season. We're now at 7 wins. And Sadiq Bey really showed out in that game. And, I mean, our whole team really did good against the Pelicans. We had Grant had 15, Sadiq Bey had 16, Plumlee had 17, 10 and 10, like I mentioned before. Delon Wright 17. He had 7 and 6 also, mind you. Svi Mikhailou had 18, Josh Jackson 21, Dennis Smith Jr. 9, Isaiah Stewart 4 and 6, plus 5 fouls. The fouls is the only thing that I really worry about with him that would hinder his development or success as a starter. I don't want to say development because he's going to develop very well from what he's shown. And then you also had Wayne Ellington with 6 points. He kind of cooled off from his hot streak he was having, but yeah, I mean, this team looks good. Dennis Smith really is starting. And that was only in in 12 minutes he got 9 points. So if maybe he can show flashes to being a backup point guard, that would be amazing, that he can actually prove himself in Detroit. The only person I have a problem with in Detroit right now is Mr. Blake Griffin. It's not that I have a problem with him in Detroit, mind you. I think he's more of a hurt to the team than a gang. Because Sadiq Bey has shown, especially in his 30-point double-double against the Celtics, Sadiq Bey can do what Blake's doing, if not better at this time. So I think you need to. It's going to be hard because I don't know what team's going to want to take on Blake's contract, being that he's making 34 million, and he's 30, I think 32 years old, roughly 31 years old. So it's going to be hard there. But I think if you're able to find a very low, like, even if we get like a second round or a late first round, second round pick for him at this point, I don't care. I think Troy Weaver's going to be able to take care of it. But I don't think we should continue with him the rest of this season past the All-Star break. I'd love for him to be out soon, but I'm happy with what we did with Derrick Rose, that his impact is already showing. We got a first-round pick for that, so That's great. Like I love that. Or maybe it was a second round pick. I could be wrong. But yeah, if we're able to get rid of um Blake Griffin, like basically the starting lineup or the lineup that we had last night can go. And maybe even you get rid of Wayne Ellington. I know that's a stretch, but maybe you get rid of Wayne. And then that kind of you can move Josh Jackson starting lineup. And then that frees up Sekou. That lets Sekou get time on the bench. And then you have a starting lineup of, let's say, DeLon Wright, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, and then you have a bench unit of Svi Mikhailou, Dennis Smith Jr., Sekou Dumbaye, I don't know, Isaiah Stewart, and then like you can throw uh, Dervish Service in there. He's a young guy. Rodney Magruder, maybe. He might be a buyout at the halfway point, but who knows? And then you also got Julio Okafor. He did just have knee surgery, so maybe it's a guy you pick up. Maybe it's a guy that you get from the Blake Griffin trade or the Wayne Ellington trade, or maybe it's one of those guys, you know? And I could maybe, I don't think they will because Wayne has a lot of, um, how could you say this? Lot of trade value for him right now. Value. I don't think they will buy him out, but that's definitely a possibility because he only got about $1.5 million deal this offseason. It was only for 1 year, so definitely I could see Wayne and Wayne, Rodney, and Blake not on the team at that midway point. I think Rodney would be a good addition to maybe a title contender as a decent guy off the bench. He can run that point shooting guard, I guess, but yeah. Pistons very good spot right now. Next game up is the Spurs. I was wrong. We are at 8 wins, not 7. We got to 7 wins after the Celtics game, but now we are at 8 wins. Spurs game though, very winnable game. Another young group of guys there. Um, so it's gonna be interesting what happens the rest of the season out. I think Pistons are in a very good spot. Do I want us to go to the playoffs? Yeah, but I don't think we will. East is kind of weak right now. East, we still have a chance. We're only, I could be wrong here, but we are conference. I'm just looking at the standing. I mean, we're 4 games out of the playoff race. So if we go on a little win streak here, we beat Spurs, Mavs. Mavs have been struggling. Grizzlies are in a weird spot right now. But so if we get 2 more wins right here, that puts us at 10 wins. And then we play Grizzlies, Magic, Pelicans again, and then Kings and Knicks to end off the month. So we have a decent schedule coming up, a schedule that's very favorable to us, even though we tend to lose to sub 500 teams. It's a very favorable schedule for us, and I'm very interested to see what comes of it. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really have anything else for the Pistons except, we'll just keep grinding. Jeremy Grant, he's been struggling a little bit, but I don't think he's struggling in a bad way. I think he's struggling in a way that he's like, let these young bucks like go crazy. DeLon Wright's been picking up his game. Isaiah Stewart had a good game the other night in a loss. I think it's 17-8, 17-9. That was his first start of his career, so like good for him. And then obviously Sadiq Bey's been going off the last couple of nights. Josh Jackson, he's been going off. He's finally picked it back up from he went off beginning of the season, got hurt, didn't play a couple games, and now he's finally starting to get back in the groove of things. I think Steve Mikhailou is one of the most on and off guys on our team. He literally have a night where he doesn't play and then come out the next night and score 18 and then not play the next night. It's so weird how they play him, but that's how it is. But to the football I was addressing. Lions, it's an interesting spot. I think we officially announced our entire coaching staff now. So yeah, I mean, other than that, now we're just waiting for free agency and seeing what we can do. Jared Goff, obviously, our QB of the future for now. Now it's just focused into free agency and seeing who could come to Detroit and who's going to stay with Detroit. Um, Now the main guy I'm thinking of is Kenny Galladay. Are they going to keep Kenny Galladay for Goff? Does Kenny Galladay want to stay? Now, I think if Campbell has been truthful and Galladay's been truthful, I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay on the franchise tag and do this as a prove it year. You don't see this much, but I think he'll do it as a prove it year. And if he has a good first 5 or so weeks, he'll get a deal inked for 4 to 5 years in the 80 million range. But obviously that's after the season starts. I think he'll make that money no matter what, even if he ends up leaving. I hope we don't let him go. He's generational type talent. So yeah. Another receiver that we could bring in the offseason, Tyrell Williams. He has connections, or rumors have been swirling that he could come to Detroit. Obviously, the big one that just happened, J.J. Watt got released by the Houston Texans. I know he might not come to Detroit, but still, that would be kind of cool to have him in Detroit because he bite off some kneecaps for Dan Campbell for him. No, but truly, I think JJ is going to the Steelers or Green Bay from Wisconsin, and then both brothers play in Pittsburgh. So I think the Pittsburgh one's very realistic. I think he knows he's near the end of his career, so I think he would willingly take a pay cut to go play with both of his brothers that are both in Pittsburgh. Like, I think he would love that. He would literally probably play right next to his brother because he's a DN. His brother's an outside linebacker. They run like a 3-4 set, I think, there in Pittsburgh. So he would play right next to his brother, and I think he would love that. But I mean, other than that, Lions are. It's going to be kind of dead for another week or two. I know we were at the Lawrence pro day. There's going to be a lot of pro days coming up in the next month or so. Draft's not till April, and then I believe free agency starts March 1st, maybe. I know the new league year starts March 1st, and I think that's around when free agency starts, because that's when the Stafford trade will become official and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, not much else I gotta say except yeah, obviously look out for the A&M, possibly a me and Gavin video, and then definitely our centers video, if not sooner than the end of the week. It might be a little bit more like, it might be like tomorrow, or even uh tomorrow, or even like maybe Wednesday or Thursday. We're trying to get out as fast as we can for you guys, because we took so long getting the power forwards out, and that did pretty decent. I think it's better than any of our other ones. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.